All right, everybody, welcome to the No Show. I am Colby, and today joining me is my personal friend, Danny Silvestri. Danny's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a couple years now, a small business owner and philosopher. I hope it's fair. Is it fair to call you a philosopher, Dan?
Especially when I have a tipple or two, I get there for sure.
Let's go. So we're gonna tip a little drink, and have a little chat. I'm calling this "Drink with Dan" because I think that's got a rhyme to it. What are you drinking on tonight, Dan? Is that a bourbon?
It's a rum actually. Just
Okay.
got a nice rum. It's drinking with Dan, and it'll be drunk with Dan in a minute.
We'll see. We'll see about that. I'm drinking on a nice little Pinot from this
nice.
is about a week from my birthday. Just turned 30. I'm getting up there. So can we
massive happy birthday.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate it.
Cheers to that. It's a big number. That how's it feeling being 30? It's a milestone, isn't it?
I feel like, like youth is a mindset, and I feel like I'm going to be young till I die. So, to health and all the good stuff, right?
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
I like to be extra fussy with the wine as well. I like to try and get the flavors out of it. I don't know if you can do that with rum, but I'm trying to get a little bit more of my my sommelier action going on with the wine and learning about, the different varietals, the different grapes, and I haven't yet developed the taste for like what a Pinot Noir tastes like versus like a Merlot or a Malbec or whatever. But I'm it's something fussy to learn about, right?
It's very cultural, isn't it? It's a really good cultural practice to start learning what grapes do what to even when the glass and it hits the glass and the shape of the glass and
Right.
where the grapes come from, how it's been developed, and it's a very cultural thing, Colby. And I like that you're entering that space now in your 30s.
I could always use a little extra culture. So, so Dan, I gotta in introducing you. I gotta say you're one of the most positive, forward-looking people that I've ever met. And so I'm not sure if anybody checked out the previous video that we did, which was it's been over a year. It's been like a year and a half. But not sure if anybody has caught that video, but I'll tell the story again, how we met. And the way that we met is I was getting married to my beautiful bride nearly 2 years ago now. Time has gone by pretty quick. And I asked around town, I said, who's the best barber in town? And word on the streets was a fellow that goes by Hollywood, who turns out to be Danny Silvestri himself. So word on the streets was that you were the best, in town with the shears. And so that's how we came in contact. I tracked you down, got my hair, all straightened out for my wedding, and it all went splendid.
I'm not sure who told you that story, but hey, we met and it was great. Maybe not the best shears in town, but thank you. I really appreciate the honor of having that entrance. It's quite something. I take that very to my heart. Thank you.
For sure, 100%. And so tracked you down, found your shop, and sat down and we hit it off right away. Just got to chatting. I think the first time I went through the shop, we started about chatting about how do you reach out to people using technology. I'm not sure if you're still playing with the idea of in the chair, possibly if the people can possibly expect something like that as far as a podcast or something from you. Is that going to manifest?
I really hope so. One day. I think it's been something I've been wanting to do for, as you're aware, a very long time, since I've known you, and before that. Has it manifested yet? I've created a couple of pilots which I put out, and and had a go at. It's just a case of getting the right momentum going and the right energy for it. And I think it's getting there. I think it's getting there. I'm sure it'll be well worth the wait when it does arrive. And I look forward to having you on the show if it happens. I always do get now and then a client suggesting, "Oh, are you still going to do that? I really want to, see it." And so it's there. It's pumping. Just the teetering on the edge of it. Maybe in the future. We'll see.
Right on, right on. And that's the funny thing. Like, sometimes people are totally for it. Sometimes people are totally not with the collaboration or what, and I appreciate you, coming on and taking the time to speak with me.
No, it's great, and it's nice to be here. But you're one of those things. Actually, I've got a question for you, if you don't mind, Colby, before we crack on even further. But I, I'm aware, like it's quite interesting because here we go. I go deep quite quickly. But you mentioned at the beginning about how I have this kind of positive outlook and this mindset that you had noticed in me before, when we just met for the first time. And it's interesting that you say that, because on one occasion, I would like to suggest that, people will meet each other because of their energies and what they're about. And obviously you're a very positive guy as well. I share that enthusiasm with yourself, that you always have this great outlook in life. You're a go-getter. You're gonna just go ahead and do things. And it's quite strange because I never actually have always been there in that mindset of positivity, of feeling good and feeling well. And I was wondering, like, is it something that you've always felt? Because is it something you've always had yourself?
No, absolutely not. Like, I think that my darkest moments have shaped me into where I can shine bright, because I think it's the contrast. When you've been through tough times, you can appreciate the good times. So by no means at all, I feel like I don't know how else to put it other than the toughest times, the most challenging times in my life is what I think about when I'm working to be excited or positive and share that with other people, because I'm not going to make the mistake of forgetting where I came from. And it's that experience, right? Like, everybody has their story. Everybody has where you have come from. And no one else fully knows your own story except for the people that you share it with. And I feel like that's what's, that's what is important about community, choosing, the types of influences that you welcome into your life, choosing the types of people that, you want to, have in your environment. And that's on many different levels. Like, I think that even applies to, the stuff that people look at on social media and whatnot. And at the end of the day, you got to stay true to you, stay true to your experience. Remember where you came from, hopefully with a vision of where you would like to go and the beauty that you would like to create in the world.
It's beautiful. How have you found that so far in 30 years of existence?
It's been a rough ride, man. It's been amazing. And I say that just because, like, it's been challenging, but where I'm at right now and where I have chosen in maturing as a man and gaining responsibilities for my family and for the people I care about, I've chosen that I'm always going to come from a place of thankfulness, just because we can always make that choice. And that's what it is. It's a choice of whether or not you want to come from a place of thankfulness and appreciation for what you do have, or you can just look at the negative. And like everybody else, I'm tempted to look at the negative. Everybody's tempted to think about what you don't got, but we have the choice to think about what we do got. And I think that, it's linking up with people like you and the other people that I choose to have in my environment. And likewise, you choose to spend your time with me, and I really appreciate it. It's those influences that I know are helping me get to where I want to go. And I'm not just passively floating. I'm actively choosing, I'm trying to build and learn through experience. And yeah, I mean,
You've got a heart of gold, Colby Noel.
perhaps
It's beautiful. It's great. I hear what you're saying with all of that, and yeah, I share similar. Like, the experiences is what shapes us, and you said right at the beginning about just being true to yourself and true to your heart, and getting to know those parts about yourself that work and that don't, and so I think action
self-knowledge.
on them to make sure that it's more positive, because it's so easy to fall into those negative traps and be caught stuck in those traps, and that could have, I guess, such a big impact on your life that
Especially right now.
is, yeah.
Especially right now. And heck, I mean, that's why I feel like it's super important to have these discussions. And I really appreciate you asking, a tough question like that, because I think that really now is like the most challenging time ever, because people feel like they're separated, and in fact they are kind of separated. And technology tends to be a bit of a catalyst insofar as you can either look at the negative or the positive, right? And you can get sucked into the FOMO of scrolling and thinking everybody has it better than you. But like you said, like we've talked about, in our private conversations when I reached out to you the other day, we just got to keep it real. Like, the what I remember about our conversation was that it's great to be positive, balanced by by also by reality. Like we have to we have to choose our how we want to deal with reality. And yeah, you can definitely, it's like the mindset is the most important thing. And I think that a lot of people talk about that, but it needs to sink in a little bit more for people. And I think that, like, now, especially more than ever, it's important for people to really think about what they're thankful for and figure out how to create more of that in their lives. Who are you thankful for? And like reaching out to people. And it's tough, like, not being able to see your family. And I think that that's, it's like the worst thing ever.
I have a bit of a hypothesis
Let's hear it.
about what you're saying, because what strikes me when you're talking about this, and this isn't a hypothesis, because I don't know what's in the minds of other people. I only know what's in the mind of myself and what I can control and what I can do. So anything I'm saying is an absolute assumption, and it's not to be taken in any other way. But
It's a good hypothesis, though.
and this is only due. Sorry, Colby.
I'm looking like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Let's go.
You look fab. Yeah, I wonder, and this is only due to my own experience that I can suggest or even say this, I suppose. The thing that you're suggesting, and where it's tough and challenging right now with people, because they aren't able to see friends and family like you're suggesting. They're not able to go out and meet their friends. They're not able to just go out and spend time with other people.
Mm,
It's been an occasion where there's been a lot of most likely time where if you're in a family, you have your partner, you have your kids, or if you're on your own, you have yourself. But generally, this whole time, it's been a lot of time with yourself.
mm,
And I wonder, is it because the hardships that it sounds like are coming out from when maybe you speak with friends or people that you know, is it because this is a really big thing here, but could it be that they just don't know or want to like themselves? Want to show that positivity towards themselves. They can't deal with being alone with themselves. They
mm,
want to mask it by being busy, going to work, meeting people, because it just is difficult to be on your own. I don't know if anybody shares that same sentiment where when you first start being on your own in any
yeah.
scenario, being in your own head is a real mind fuck
I don't know
sometimes.
if I told
Depends
you
what
this.
kind of person you are.
I don't know if I told you this about myself, but I was living in a van by myself
Mm,
for an extended period of time. I was living in a van that I was doing that van life thing for nearly 3 years,
wow.
and
In the
um,
States or over here? Or
mhm,
in Europe? In the
in
States, nice. Got an
and
RV.
yeah, so um, but yeah, like there was time when I was I was lonely in my van at one point,
Mm,
um and yeah, it's you don't like you're not really like showing the world. You're not you don't want to show the world who you are when you're in a lonely, like, sad place, and a lot of people are there right now. And and um I think that, like, the conversation surrounding self-knowledge, you have to, you can't be good and supportive and a positive influence to other people unless you're first internally good and positive and thankful and all those things within yourself, of course.
very good.
The power of social media is
Mm,
like like obviously there's a lack of self-knowledge. Obviously there's a lot of vanity on social media, but it's also powerful to have these conversations and share it with people. For example, you know, I like, uh, it was embarrassing when at the time I had my front tooth knocked out, and I was feeling very self conscious. And then I put out, um, a video and a message just saying, like, if you're going to judge me because of my teeth right now, that says more about you than it does me.
that shows some true courage, my friend, and strength in yourself to be able to do that and to post that. In
Mm,
fact, Colby, most things, I mean, as you're aware as well, like I don't hover on the social media platforms all too much. I kind of dabble in and out of what I need to do, and then I'm out of there. But every time I do go in and I discover you because you'll pop up on my tabs, my screen, and I have a little bit of time to just sort of see what my friends are up to, and you strike me like you're always so assured and confident, and that is such a nice inspiring thing to just see when I pop on there and I go on there, because you're spreading some good stuff, and your inspiration will shine through, I think, to anyone that follows you and sees what you're about and what you're up to. And especially this last year where we've had this pandemic and you've been away from your family for quite an extended amount of time to just go and pursue a career move rather than a family move. But eventually, I mean, I'm speaking for you here, but I'm sure the career move was because of your family as well. So, the sort of guy you are is just remarkable in that. So, yeah, just keep up that positive vibe. And I think you're right. It's good to. It's a strange one. It's kind of over glamorizing everything. Like that's for me anyway. What it feels like sometimes when you want to share the good things and you want to kind of balance it by sharing the other sides, like you're saying with your tooth and how it made you feel. You wanted to just say something about it. It's kind of like there's a bad situation, and I think sometimes when you're trying to find that balance, it's almost everything is fake then. Like the good sides are fake, but then almost because you want to balance it with some bad stuff as well to show just how real of a human you are, you balance it with other stuff which is bad but just as fake, if that makes sense. Whereas,
Well,
you're just straight down the line. Like you can just say you are who you are and that is what you're about. And that it's a crazy platform, and there's I shouldn't use that word really. I don't know. Well, it's a platform, and it does great as well. But
I've got
to
a
have
theory.
some,
I've got a theory. Like,
mm,
because because uh, you know, I appreciate self honesty. I appreciate honesty with myself and also with the people that are close to me, and also extended. Like, I feel like it's important to be genuine in, as you know, in whatever capacity, in every capacity, if that's possible. Now, my theory is, like, putting out stuff, I reject other people labeling and defining me. So like, you know, in a sense, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to discover who are my people that are my friends and my family and people that care about, and then everybody else can know that I'm not subject to what people think about me. um I'm not sure if that makes sense, but like, I want to find who is interested in, um who's interested in the value that I have to bring, and 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 like, it's just a community thing. Like, it's finding who's your community, whether it's business, friends, professional, acquaintances. Like, not everybody's going to be in your inner circle, tribe. Like, not everybody's going to be in your you know inner circle. But I'm trying to figure out where people are, because I guess on your point earlier that a lot of people are like, um, I forgot how you put it, but like, a lot of people are living just to have the surface level social interactions, where that's been removed now. Like, because of this stuff, it's been removed to where you can't just go about life as it was before. And so, now you have to figure out, like, who's in the community, who is, you know, what businesses, and this is how I'd like to transition into the business side of things, because what businesses do you really care about? Because those businesses, more than ever, depend on your business, and the local businesses, the small businesses. It's important to support those people. It's important to support the businesses you care about, and be conscious about where you're spending your money, because it makes a big difference. And would you agree with that?
yeah, I think this is a point we touched on quite a lot last time as well, and just the power of small business and local community as well. I think it is certainly very important to have. I'd say that being a small business, very small micro solo business person myself, it's important. But I'm always aware of where is my money that I've received from people going in my world. Where am I going to put it? And I was having a conversation the other day with another friend about the challenges with actually wanting to do good things, spend money in good ways, because sometimes it's challenging. I respect that for even my business. Like, this is quite a big thing, I suppose, to say, but I couldn't afford to get a haircut with myself. You know, if I wanted to support someone like myself, I couldn't afford it. Um, and I think that's true of a lot of small businesses. Like, the costs of running a small business, the costs involved when you have not the big buying power massive corporations have,
Mm.
you've got to really find a way in that community where it is um, accessible to to many demographics of people, because there's a lot of times that I go out and I support my community, and I wish I could support them more, but I would maybe choose to go once a month to that really nice place that is a local family run restaurant. Even though I'd love to go there every week, I can only go once a month. And that's because it is maybe a bit more expensive and a bit more lavish, and it's a nice experience because you have that homely family run feel, but they have to have their prices the way they are to keep their
Mhm.
family alive. And it's, if I went to a chain restaurant, it'd be a lot cheaper, and I can maybe go 2 or 3 times in the month. But and it's a tough challenge, it's a tough mental challenge. And I think it comes for me to balance, finding balance with, supporting your local community and doing things for your local people where you can, knowing that it's not going to be perfect. Like we're saying earlier, there's negativity that comes in
But
play as well, and you've got to,
my man,
yeah.
it's hard to put a price on supporting your local community and businesses. It's hard to put a price on that. And even if it does cost twice as much to go to Beans and Boards instead of Starbucks, it doesn't. But I would still go if Jack, for example, doubled his prices. And yeah,
Mm.
maybe I can only get one coffee a week instead of every day. I mean, that would be tough for me because I do live on coffee. But you get the point, right. It's hard. You can't put a price on local business.
But it's also, you can't undervalue the effect that, even if you can't afford to buy from them as much as
Mm,
you would like to, just by, social media is powerful now, reviews are powerful, there's so many things you could do for free for the company that you're looking at supporting, that it goes far beyond just sort of giving them the money that they need. Like, of course they need to for you to buy from them, but if you could even show a bit of support, maybe it's a nice email reflecting on one of their members of staff, or it was a post that you wanted to shout about because they did something so good and that was different, like that can go a long way. Because if you put one social media post out there and you've got a good following as a skater, and it goes to another 5 people, he's got 5 customers. So like, that one person who can't afford the drink has now been able to go and get 5 homies that are going to come flooding in the gates because they just found this wicked skateboard shop. I think it's,
the
that's the
home
power
makes
of,
a difference.
yeah, you don't, not always about the kind of true monetary value right now. It's a, for me, it's all about what you're saying about that company, how you show, waving its flags, and um just saying nice things. And word of mouth is so important, even with social media around, and even with online platforms that we have. Word of mouth, I take the word of a friend any time over than something online, for sure.
100%. And it feels in challenging times when we're all fighting to, take care of our businesses, our families, our communities. Um, it counts more than ever when you feel like you've got a community backing you up, doing what they can, at least, um, supporting in one way, shape, or form. So, Danny, I appreciate you, man. I really do. And thanks for taking the time. Where's the best place for people to find you? Is it IG? Is it Facebook? Or how do you like to connect with people when you're not doing,
um
this?
yeah, I guess my website, I like to keep up to date. I quite enjoy tinkering on there, which is just farsideproject.co.uk. Instagram is probably the one that I go on the most. So Farside Project, it is just at Farside Project. Um, I have some help with that. I'm going to put a big shout out there to the person that helps me with my social media, because without her, like, I couldn't, I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't. There'd be nothing on there. So, big shout out for that, because it's important to, have those amazing people behind you as well, and to shout about how the good job they do. And
Word,
the encouragement as well. It's like you say, like we were saying earlier, about your encouragement that you give to others when I see you online. The people that you speak to in person help you with your business. Those people are such a big part of the business. Like, I don't want to take all the credit for it. I don't want to, I haven't done everything. I've needed them to inspire me to maybe do this or do that. And I've have this lockdown put out a few more videos than I would have ordinarily done, and that was thanks to the person who's helping with my social media that suggested to do that. And there's been some great feedback, so it's been nice. But yeah, it gets me out of my comfort zone. It gets me somewhere speaking other than just to the bottom of the glass myself. at 1 in the morning. It's nice to have that conversation, but it's alien to me because I don't mind this sort of conversation, but just to have your phone held up in front of you and walking along and talking, like I still find it so bizarre, and it makes me laugh every time I go. It makes me laugh when I see others doing it. It makes me laugh when I'm doing it. It just, if you saw the takes before what I put up, I'm just laughing at myself, thinking, "What am I doing?"
It's good. Yeah, I don't think
Honestly,
anybody totally knows what they're doing, but
it's true.
yeah. All right. Well,
That's
I
the
appreciate your time. And Danny, it's always a pleasure. All the best to you, the Farside Project, and your friends and your family. And I appreciate being one of those people. So
No,
thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Thank you very much. That's very cool.
And I hope we'll talk again soon.
No, for sure. Always.
Cheers.
Prost. Cheers.